Hello, pharma professionals and aspirants. This is Bhaskar Napte, and I welcome you all in today's discussion, Five Whys analysis. Now, there are many analysis tools available like FMEA, fishbone or Ishikawa fishbone diagram, fault tree analysis. But according to me, one of the simplest investigation tool can be the five whys analysis or just a why analysis. So we will try to understand how this investigation tool can be used effectively to solve your problem. Let us begin to the presentation now. Let us now begin our talk by understanding what is exactly 5Y means and who has invented this very interesting tool. So Sakeshi Toyoda developed this technique and firstly used it within the Toyota Motors. And this is not only possible to utilize these tools in automobile industry, but one can usually use these tools for any another industry, just in case like pharmaceutical industry. So it is a tool to identify the root cause. You can identify the root cause for a given problem or a non-conformity by repeatedly asking the questions why. So the first important principles behind using this tool, you have to begin your question with only word why. You cannot start the questions by what, how, when, where, something like that. You have to begin the questions with the letter WHY, that is why. That is the first important point. This is used to find out exact root cause of a problem by finding the exact chain of relationship between them. So five eyes will connect these different answers with the sort of the questions that you are going to ask one after another. That indicates that your question is related to earlier answer. And to understand this sequence of the questions, we are going to also take one questions at the last of this presentation. It helps to solve the problem permanently from its root cause by taking appropriate corrective actions and the preventive action. That is what is objective of conducting an investigation, isn't it? It helps to eliminate the reoccurrence of the problem. Now, why the reoccurrence of the problem will be eliminated? Because you have taken the corrective action. So corrective action is the action taken to eliminate the root cause behind the observed problem or the non-conformity. So kappa is not part of the five whys investigation tool, but it is an obvious action after identifying the root cause. And that's the reason why I said that once you have the problem identified, you can take the corrective action so that the elimination of the problem can be possible or the reoccurrence of the problem can be a possibility. It is mostly used to solve simple problems. Now, this is the important point, isn't it? For complex problems, you may have to use little advanced or complex tools, maybe like fishbone Ishikawa diagram. But in the case, the problem is very simple. And if you want to identify the effective investigation tool, I think the five eyes is the best one to go with. This is very interesting diagram according to me, and this is a T diagram. So what is the tree diagram all about? You can see the picture onto the right side of the screen. Now there is a problem statement over here, and you can see the symptoms in the form of the leaves or the branches of the tree, and these are the various causes of the possible various causes possible for a given problem. That indicates that your problem may have sometimes the multiple causes. It is not that your problem is going to have only one cause. So there may be chance that your problem may have the multiple causes as well. So this is the diagram that can relate to understand what is the relationship between a given problem, then its symptoms and the different causes as like the roots of the tree. So a problem associated symptoms And causes can be represented by a tree diagram, as we just discussed. Frequently, a problem is the result of multiple causes occurring together. So this problem is always the result of this many problems. So many causes could be a one cause or could be a many cause. So this causes creates the problem. Now each time you ask why, there might be more than one answer, isn't it? So that your same problem can have the multiple causes. That's what the statement we made in the just previous point. In other words, a problem may have different potential root causes. There could be multiple reasons for the given problem. Example, you have a fever. Now, how many causes can cause a fever? Your malaria can cause a fever, viral fever can cause a fever, throat infection can cause a fever, and there could be severe infections like coronavirus infection also can cause a fever. So the one problem, that is fever, can have the multiple possible causes or the root causes. It follows a path that is linear towards the root cause. Means you are going to take one problem at a time, one cause at a time. Of course, you are going to deal with the one problem at a time, but as far as the five whys analysis is concerned, it is quite a linear approached investigation tool. So we'll take one example to understand what is meant by the path is linear toward the identification of a root cause. But before we move on to the example part, let us understand something, a very important term, symptom. What is meant by symptoms and what is meant by the root cause? Sometimes we may get confused symptoms as the root cause, but just addressing the symptom may not actually eliminate the problem from its very root. So to eliminate the problem from its root, one has to identify the root cause. Let us understand. When you are resolving a problem, it is important to understand the difference between a cause and a symptom. Now, to just explain what symptoms means and cause is, take an example of a fever. So, is a fever root cause? Huh? Is a fever root cause? Absolutely no. Fever is a symptom of the malaria. So malaria becomes the root cause and the fever just become the symptoms of this malaria root cause. So if you want to eliminate the fever symptom, you should not only target the eliminating the fever by taking simple paracetamol tablet. That could be a relief for a while, but that will not eliminate this problem from its root. To eliminate the problem from its root, you have to target this root cause, that is the malaria. So identify how you can cure the malaria or the fever from the malaria, and that going to become the perfect medication or the treatment to solve the existing problem. A symptom is an indicator or a sign that is problem is in the existence. Fever is just a indicator that there is a problem. And what is the problem? By the way, the malaria attack is the problem or the infection is the problem. Now, when you resolve an issue, you must address the cause of the problem and not a symptom. So the effort must be made to identify the root causes so that the issue can be resolved. Now, this final cause can be referred to as the root cause. As we said, malaria is the cause, and that can be connected as the root cause for the given problem statement that the patient is having a fever. General concepts. The 5 why analysis is a root cause analysis technique. It helps you to identify the root cause. It is an repetitive question asking technique used to explore root cause. You have to ask repetitive questions beginning with the word why. The phi name is derived from an experimental observation on the number of repetition typically required to reach root cause. That means it has been said that most of the times you can reach to the root cause by asking almost 5 number of questions beginning with the why. Ask why until the root cause is uncovered or discovered. It may be more than five number of questions or less than five number of questions. That is absolutely fine. No worry about that. Applications of 5i can be, as we said, to identify the root cause, for quality improvement, for process improvement, prevent recurrence, to avoid the prevention, to avoid the recurrence of the problems, investigation of safety incident, continuous improvement plan for taking the decision or for a personal development. Let us now go with the practical example to understand how this investigation tool can be used. Now, here is the problem statement. Material was not reached at the site on time, right? So, there was a delay in receiving a material. So, as we said that this is a technique where you have to begin the questions by word why. So what could be the possible first why? Just connect with the problem statement. So the question could be why material was not. So I just connecting this why, this problem statement. So why material was not reached at the site on time, and then the question mark. Now I will get the answer. The material was not reached at the site on time because it was dispatched late. I got the answer. So how do I prepare the second why now? So I will connect these questions by beginning with the why, and my question becomes now why it was dispatched late, isn't it? The second why is now why material was dispatched late. Now the answer of this question is material was dispatched late as it was not ready on time. Material was not ready on time. Now the next why could be connecting the same answer. Why material was not ready on time, and then making a question mark. The answer for this question is material was not ready on time because material specification reached late. Now the next why could be why material specification was reached late because material specification was not sent along with the PO. Now this is the answer of why material reached late. Now the next why question could be now uh, why material specification was not shared along with the PO, isn't it? Why material specification was not shared along with the PO? The purchase person missed to send it. Now the next question is now that why purchase person missed to send the PO along with the specification along with the purchase order. The purchasing person was new and he was not trained well. So this is the reason why the material was not reached at the site on time, and this is called as the root cause, because you have identified the root cause which can help you to eliminate its reoccurrence in the future. Once you target or once you identify the root cause, you can take the corrective actions, and hopefully that this will not reoccur in the future. I hope you understand this with the help of a very simple example. Let us move on to the next point. Now, general guidelines. A cross-functional team should be formed. So if the problem is occurred in the quality control, it is not only the quality control team has to conduct the investigation, but the cross-functional team should be identified in the consultation with the quality assurance. So obviously the quality assurance is going to be the part of investigation team, but in addition to the QA, you can also invite manufacturing, regulatory affairs, R&D team as appropriate. Don't jump into the conclusion, no guesswork, and one step at a time. So go slow. Focus on the objective. Ask why until root cause is not identified. You may have to ask less or more number of whys. If you don't ask enough why, you may end up with a symptom and not the real root cause. I'm so sorry, there is a spelling mistake. So please read this as a root cause. And path should make sense when read in reverse order using therefore. So, what is the meaning of this sentence? Would you like to understand this? So, please let us go to the next slide. And this was the example we discussed earlier. The problem statement is material was not reached at the site on time. Now, read this entire example from the reversed order. Means what? I will start reading this from here. The purchasing person was new and she was not trained well. Therefore, purchase person missed to send this purchase order. Purchase order was not sent. Therefore, material specification was not sent with the purchase order. Therefore, material specification reached late, and therefore material was not ready on time, and therefore the dispatch was late, and therefore the material was not reached at the site on time. So do you understand how this reversed order with the therefore in between should able to connect with our initial problem statement? Now, tips for starting five whys analysis. Clearly define the problem statement. Start always with the why. Be curious and open minded. Ask questions persistently and very clearly. Avoid blame game. Use data and evidence. Involve a cross functional team. Document your analysis, and human error is just a symptom and not the root cause. So try to identify a root cause which is not related to the human being, but try to identify the root cause which can be related to maybe the system or the process. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you must have now understood what is meant by five whys and how one can implement this a very effective but simple investigation technique. Thank you so much.